informative, educative, and inspiring program. One of the objectives of this program is to use this program to showcase the positivity that surrounds Nigerians out there. Niger Mouthpiece has come to speak to our people using this platform to tell them that there are a whole lot of positive Nigerians out there doing great things in the world at large. My name is Phillips Ayodike, and I have with me my co-presenter.
Thank you so much, everyone watching, wherever you're watching us. It's still Niger Mouthpiece, and my name is Akim Ogumilade, co-presenter. On this special edition, just like my lead producer said, it's all about appreciating the values, celebrating those great Nigerians in diaspora who are standing out in their different walks of life, and at the same time making sure that the narratives, the impression about the Nigerians both locally and internationally is actually changed. As Nigerians, we are great people and a great nation. On this episode, we have a very special guest with us already right now. And our guest is someone you would all like to meet.
Our guest today is a professional behavior analyst and entrepreneur. He is the president and CEO of Behaviorprise Consulting Incorporated and Behaviorprise College of Business and Health Studies, Toronto, Canada. With over 15 years diverse experience in business and developmental services, Behaviorprise Consulting currently employs about 180 support workers and operates 2-day program facilities for people living with developmental disabilities in Ontario, Canada. He works in collaboration with government-funded agencies in Ontario to create and implement evidence-based behavioral treatment and supports to improve the lives and learning of people living with developmental disabilities. He is a board-certified behavior analyst. He is a sustaining member of the Ontario Association of Behavior Analysis, ONTABA, and a member of the Association of Professional Behavior Analysts. He completed an advanced diploma in behavioral science from George Brown College, Toronto, an undergraduate degree in psychology from York University, Toronto, and a master's degree in professional behavior analysis from the Florida Institute of Technology, Melbourne, USA. He co-authored an article on the treatment of picker disorder 2018, published in the peer-reviewed journal Neurodevelopmental Disorders. Without much ado, let's make welcome our special guest on today's edition of Niger Mouthpiece, Mr. Lanre Duyile, CEO Behaviorprise.
So it's on this note, ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome to our screen our guest for the day, Mr. Phillips. Let's pick it up from there.
Having said that, it will be a honor to meet Mr. Lanre Duyile. We may have done an abridged introduction about you, sir. Can you please do our viewers the honor of introducing yourself?
Okay, my name is Lanre Duyile, and I don't think I have any much more to add. I live in Toronto, Canada with family, my wife and children, and with the great people that I work with at Behaviorprise. We are breaking grounds and doing different things to assist people employ, run business, and share ideas with all the beautiful Ontarians and Canadians countrywide.
So thank you so much, sir. The next question is, we want to find out, how long have you been in Canada?
I've been in Canada since May 2002.
For those who really want to know what Behaviorprise Consulting and Behaviorprise College is about, can you please give us a brief history as to how you came about the institution?
I started working right from my first year in Canada, and I worked for a few years, and in the course of my work I found that myself and my team at the time were struggling with some of the behaviors that we were experiencing at work. Before I go into that, actually my background is an accountant, Okay, so when I came to Canada, like everyone, you try to figure out where you can fit in. So we're having struggles, and there was this man. His name is Benjamin Wu, and he would just come and tell us what we had done wrong and what the issue was that we needed to pick up on and do, and it was always on point, right? And when he would leave, we would all be thinking, wow, this guy is great. And then I started asking, how come he knows so much and he's able to do so much and tell us things that we did wrong without him being there? And I was told, oh, he's actually a behavior therapist. I'm like, what is that? And they said, oh, that's what he does. And so I met him up, I spoke with him, and he said, oh yeah, you need to do a lot of schooling. If you have time, then you can go ahead. So I said, oh yeah, I'd like to do that. So at the time, there was really no school in Ontario that does behavioral science. And then the following year, I heard that St. Lawrence College has a program and George Brown had a program. So I enrolled and I got admitted. I had my wife and my daughter, and I had to go to school. So I had to just go it all out. Went to George Brown, and in the process I was also working. And then I discovered a whole new technology that is not really out there. The study of human behavior, and that everything we do in life, everything boils down to behavior. Politics is behavior, business is behavior, policy is behavior, teaching is behavior, everything. And then I thought, I'd really like to do this. And then I started moving forward and advancing in the study of human behavior. I wanted to be a behavior analyst, but at the time, if you have a diploma, which I had from George Brown, you cannot write the board exam. So I registered for the associate certification. I wrote the exam, and guess what? I failed. And so I had to push and study hard. And then I did it again, and I passed, and it opened up new doors. And the more I did, the more aware I became that, you know, you need to do more studies. And so to push forward, you have to have a master's degree. And I'm like, I can't do a master's degree with an advanced diploma. So that was why I had to go to York to have a degree. Once you get a degree, then you can do a master's degree. So I did the degree, went to the master's, and I'll leave that story there. And then at a point, I started seeing that, you know, if you're dealing with typical individuals, those who do not have a disability, it's easy to teach them things. But when it comes to people with disabilities, you need to do a whole lot more work, right? You need to think about what they may be going through and how best to teach them and all of that stuff. And so I saw that the people that were training to work with folks with disabilities didn't really have information, and I want to disseminate. As a behavior analyst, one of the things you sign up to do is disseminate the science of human behavior. So I thought about creating a training. I created a training on the Behaviorprise in 2008. That company was registered in my house, and then we advanced into doing the training, and the more we did it, the more people thought, oh wow, we never knew this, right? And at a point I started trying to look at our field, what is missing, and I just thought that it was more of a calling for me to fill the gap that was missing in the field. And Behaviorprise got from just being a training organization to being a staffing organization to providing programs, to providing residential, to providing children, to addressing business. So in a nutshell, that is how it evolved.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Daddy, I want to ask you, sir, because you just said to us before the last answer. You came into Canada 2002, and you said you worked briefly somewhere. You said your background is accounting.
Accounting, yeah.
Did you work as an accountant when you came in?
When I came in, I wanted to work as an accountant. I wanted to convert my credentials, and I got a friend who introduced me to an accounting firm. I got there, and everything looked different, and I was falling asleep at work. Okay. So I was like, man, this is so different, you know. But I was pushing along, and then after about a month, that job ended. And the only job that I had that I could do was providing support to folks with developmental disabilities. Wow. Right. So wow. I just stayed there.
So you metamorphosed from accounting office to this job of developmental support.
Yes.
And the job of developmental support led you to this behavioral. Oh, wow, that's right. Great. Because I just want to know, because every average immigrants in Canada has their day of little beginning. So that's exactly the area where I would just need our listeners to hear that the Jaguar syndrome that happens back home, you don't come to Canada or go to the US and start picking up money from the street. You still have your days of little beginning.
Definitely.
Regardless of who you are back home, you need to work with someone else here to get your feet together, right?
Exactly.
To get your act together.
So that's a really grateful. Thank you so much, Mr. Duyile. Now, the next question I want to ask is, it's been like over 15 years of journey now. So in terms of 21 years, oh my God.
Yeah.
So what has been the journey like in terms of challenges, in terms of growth, in terms of experience? What are the greatest things you want to share with us through this journey so far?
There's quite a lot, but very briefly, you have to birth an idea, and a lot of people they come to me and they say, oh, I'd like to do something, but it seems like people just want to copy what you're doing. If you're copying someone, you can only be as good as a copy. But if you birth an idea, you can go places, because your brain is going to be opened to so many things. It's your idea, so you can expand, you can look and imagine things. Okay, so first of all, birth an idea, or if there's an existing idea, try to rebrand it, make it your own. Don't just stay with the copy. Okay, and if you get started, a lot of folks want to start running before, they want to start running before crawling. You start small. Like I said, I started in my house. My cell phone became the business phone. And when it became obvious that people would start coming to see me, I had to move from the house to a small office, a furnished office. I didn't need to buy anything. The office was there was a desk, and there was a reception phone, and that was it. I was paying $650 a month. All right? And so you start small and you keep growing. And don't be eager to start paying yourself big money and start flaunting things that are not there. So you go. There may be some frustrations along the way. People may not buy into your idea. They may say it's not going to work. They may say a lot of people have tried it and failed, and in my experience I have tried certain things and I failed, but I'm not bothered by the failure. I learn from it and then I move on. So there may be a lot of pushback, there may be disappointments, but if that idea is genuine, it's going to grow.
Yeah, talking about failing and not allowing failure to keep you down. You talked about the first time you wrote your exam, it didn't work out well, then you went again. So I need you to encourage some people out there that feels like, oh, once I try once, at my first attempt, if it didn't work out, let me just keep it and move away from the challenges. What can you say to them out there, sir?
Yeah, so there is there's nothing wrong with failing. You fail, and then you take a step back, you think about why you failed, and study or put in more effort, and then you move on. If you fail, if anybody knows about it, who cares? Let them know about it. If you start hiding and you don't want somebody to know you failed, then you're not, again, being genuine. You're not being human. In human endeavor, you're gonna fail, you learn from it, and then you move on. If you fail and then you lie there and you're sorry for yourself for failing, you just remain a failure. So you can move on, and then you can talk about, oh, guess what? I failed before, but look at where I am now.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Duyile. Let's take a look again about your college in terms of what makes your institution stand out totally different from every other institutions, and what are the most trending courses that people are really interested in the community?
So again, if you look at from the point of view of our staffing solutions product, we recruit people and place them. A lot of people come in and they say, after taking a few trainings, they'll say, oh, I'd like to do more. This is my background. What do you think I can do? All right. They talk about that, and I say, go to this college or go to that university, go and do this, make this inquiry and all of that. So from a business model, business management, you find that a lot of businesses do, to stay, abreast of what's going on, you either do a forward integration or a backward integration. So what that means is, if you're doing backward integration, you're looking at where are the people that I need for this business, or the raw materials, where are they coming from? If you see where they're coming from and you can actually scale back and begin to produce your own raw materials or train students, then you can actually expand your business. So we thought about backward integration. What will it take to run a school? Started doing the research, making inquiries, and then we found out, oh, so these people that are coming and saying, what can I do? What program can I take? We can actually run a school and take care of that end of business. So because we are generally in developmental services and health services, we thought that one of the first things we're going to do is start with one course, and that is how the Ministry of Colleges and Universities under the Private Career Colleges Act would operate. They advise that you have one course first and then you begin to introduce additional ones. So we looked at the developmental service worker curriculum. There's a provincial standard. And so I thought, what can we do to make this different from every other school in the country? And so we looked at the criteria, and then from my experience, again, my background is in human behavior and the fact that everything is driven by human behavior. So I thought that if we take this developmental disability course and we break it down and improve it to be something that can be, taken to the very barest human behavior course, we went ahead and we improved the curriculum. So we added courses to the 4 semesters, and instead of having a DSW diploma, we now have a DSWB. The B stands for behavioral, and it's only here, Behaviorprise Consulting, that you have it in the whole country.
That's uniqueness.
Exactly. So we brand that and we say, come take this program. You can be job ready the day after you graduate. And that is on now. We have approval for the PSW program. We are putting together business diplomas and certificates. We are doing performance management training. We have clinical research associate training. We have the business analysis curriculum that is developing. So everything is coming together, and that is where we're going in the next few weeks to months coming.
So for people watching us at home, it's still Niger Mouthpiece, and we've been with our guest, a proprietor, a trailblazer in his field, and we want to encourage you that the objective of this program is to make sure that we change the narratives about, the impression of Nigerians in diaspora, and of course to motivate, to educate, and to reorientate people that once you are in diaspora, there are definitely days of your little beginning. All right, back to my co-presenter. Let's begin to round off gradually, right?
Now, if I may ask you, sir, can you speak to the career prospect of graduates from Behaviorprise College?
Again, just to make things as unique as can be, Behaviorprise Consulting has a staffing solutions aspect of it. So we recruit and we place people. Behaviorprise College trains people and they're job ready. So the unique position that we're in is that if you go through that program, we already have a staffing solutions agency that can absorb people. Just even during training, we hire people during their training, so that by the time they're done, they have experience that they can talk about, that this is what I've done, that's what I've done. And then during our graduation, because of my interaction and relationship with all the agencies that are in the GTA that can hire, I would say, okay, we're having graduation in June. Can you send your HR department to come and look at our graduates? So they show up, they interview our students, and from there you know that this one is going to there, this one is going to there. So that is what makes our program and our operations unique and successful.
So, sir, we're talking about Canada now. Then we want you to speak to what Nigerians back home can stand to gain if they have the intention of coming to study here in your college, and can that be possible?
Yeah. So let me speak generally and then I'll bring it down to our level. We operate a private career college, okay? And in Canada, if you go to a private college, you are not eligible to get a postgraduate work permit.
Yes.
Okay, so just saying it, that's the fact. So as private colleges strive to work with the government to see if they can do anything to change that rule, it is still not there. So, but is it possible for people to come to a college or a private college for education? Yes. However, because Behaviorprise College is still new, we're blazing the trail, but we're still new, and there are some restrictions in place. Before we can take international students, we have to operate for at least 2 years. We've operated and we're eligible to take international students, but we have not received the approval yet.
Okay.
So everything is in with the ministry. We're just waiting to hear back. It can happen next week, it can happen next month. Once it happens, we will be open. You've seen our facility, we're open, we can take students, we have the space, we have the faculty to do all that.
Okay, definitely. I think we'll be taking a walk around to make sure we see what the school looks like. So my final question for our guest is, in terms of, has this your institution been able to engage in any research or any kind of academic initiatives that, in terms of research and initiatives, like what, is there anything that you've been able to do in recent times?
In terms of research, I only have a co-published work that I did with, I'm sure you're familiar with the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, CAMH. So I have colleagues there, and we had collaborated on a client, and we published the research that we did together. But in terms of as a college, research, no, we've not done any research that can be published, but there are a few things that we are currently doing. I don't know if you're aware, but every year I get invited by the Guarantee Trust Bank for the Autism Conference, and I have been the keynote speaker 2 years. The last year program, I was actually the coordinator of the sessions that we had, and we were in Ghana as well, and we did a lot of work. So the information and the data that we're getting from that may end up being data that will be published sometime in the future to say, okay, see, this is what's going on. And in terms of, let me quickly make this point, in terms of some of the work that we're doing, they're already existing in the literature of behavior science. Take for example, companies do performance appraisal, right, every year, and they base promotion and different benefits on the performance appraisal. But at Behaviorprise College, we don't do performance appraisal at the end of the term. We do performance appraisal at the end of each class. Why is that? The science of behavior teaches that if somebody does something and you want them to improve, you give them feedback immediately. So when I go to class and my instructor does something good or bad, the feedback should come right out of the class. And then when we get it, we'll tell him or her that, sir, your student said that you were not allowing them time to ask questions and all of that stuff. So we're bringing the science of behavior to teaching, to classroom activities, to business. Performance appraisal should not just be at the end of the year. At that time, new behavior cannot be, evoked. It's too late. But if the person does it now, and you give him that feedback now, he can change tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes.
Not that he would have done it for several months or all that, and then you give him the feedback. It's too late to change what has gone on in the past.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Duyile, once again. And to our esteemed viewers, wherever you're watching, it's still Niger Mouthpiece. And right now we want to take a break, and after the break, we'll be back and the program will continue. Stay tuned. Alright, welcome back, and thank you so much for being a part of this informative, educative, as well as enlightening show. Mr. Duyile, my final question is, you've mentioned behavioral development, behavioral analysis. My last question is, it sounds like more of human psychology. I don't have any experience. I've never met them. It's pretty, just like you said, it's not so much old of a genre of discovery in science. Could you tell us about, I really just want to get educated a bit in 1 or 2 minutes, and that'll be my final question. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. So, psychology is a very broad field of study. However, behavioral science is not as you would see psychology. In fact, you could say that behavioral science came out of psychology. Psychology is a social science. The research that is done is more correlational kind of research. There are some experimental research in psychology, but behavior analysis focuses on human behavior, okay? And it is not a social science, it's actually a scientific study. So just the way you have chemistry is the same way we look at behavioral science, and we look at how behavior can be improved, how behavior develops.
Wow. It's been a very insightful moment with you, Mr. Duyile, and I will believe our viewers out there will have been able to grab 1 or 2 things from you going by your presentation, and just like we know, that this program is about showcasing the positive side of Nigerians. If we, as we all can see, this is a Nigerian that has been positive in his endeavor, and he's been using the positivity in his own endeavor to impact others positively, impact the society positively. If a big bank like GTB can invite him all the way from Africa to come and champion program for going to 3 consecutive years now, because I'm aware that he will still be going by July this year for the same program. So it goes to show that there's more than good stuff coming out of him.
It's such a beautiful moment for me, just like one of the beauty of this program also is we learn when we meet great people like these, people who inspire others. And to you watching, wherever you're watching, I want to say thank you so much for your time. This is our maiden edition, like it will always get better. On behalf of ourselves, we want to say thank you so much, Mr. Duyile. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for the hospitality, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
This is how far we'll be able to go. We want to say don't touch the dial, keep watching Niger Mouthpiece. A lot of goodies to inspire you coming your way. Once again, my name is Akim Ogumilade, and it's goodbye.
Thank you so much. Again, my name is Felix, and I say goodbye.